Hi everyone, welcome back. I thought we would visit today this Hobbit deck because I myself haven't gone through it in a while. It was put out by US Games in 2012, and you can see there on the box that Peter Prokonik and Terry Donaldson brought this to life using the story of that was written by Tolkien many years ago. And this is going to take us with Bilbo Baggins and Gandalf on a little journey. We'll see hobbits and giants and imaginary creatures. And in the book, you actually get a decent amount of information that go with the cards. And in the back, there are some spreads. That one's kind of large. The Sword of Aragon spread is kind of nice. And there's one here, the Arkenstone spread. Now that's going to take a little bit of room, I guess, and be interesting to see how that one was laid out. I have not tried that. And it is a secondhand deck. I'm going to zoom in because there's a couple spots that look like there might have been some cards sticking in the deck, and some of these were covered up, I guess, unless it was a signature and it was distracting. So let's just see what we've got here. We're starting with the Fool, Bilbo Baggins on his journey, and you can see his little home here in the distance. And he's got the same stance as we usually see. It's not on a cliff with the Rider-Waite images that we're used to, but it gives us enough information that he's definitely on a journey. And with the rock here, he's got to be careful he doesn't trip on that because he's really not watching the direction he's going. He's looking at what he's leaving behind and taking that risk to move forward. Okay, there is our magician. Pretty wonderful looking, especially with that full moon and these beautiful rocks there beside him. And it's almost like he's gazing into the crystal ball, but there's also the reflection down here, which is neat. There's lots of symbolism to be found. There's the High Priestess card. We don't see her, but we see the book that she usually has on her lap, and these look like rune symbols in that. It's interesting, you still get the full moon and the dark moon and the pillar effect. There is the Empress. Now I'm going to look that one up because there is no female figure there. Excuse me, but it says here, Bilbo and Gandalf are united in the deepest bonds of spiritual love with their fellow companions on the great quest. Gandalf points with the forefinger of his right hand, showing us the direction the companions are to take. So it's indicating with the Empress being, to me, fruitful and everything that goes along with nurturing. So the divinatory meaning is harmony, creativity, pleasure, and abundance. And in a spread, it says it shows that now is the time to encourage harmony and love in your life. Okay, so that sort of baffled me a bit how they were going to bring the Empress qualities to it. And here we have the Emperor. Our Hierophant. Deep in his magic and thoughts. The Lovers. I wanted to see who they were. Bungo Baggins and Belladonna Took, Bilbo's parents. Okay, because we sometimes see the image of them in a photograph on the mantle. So they appear to be deep in conversation, suggesting the power of attraction and love in all life. And it was Bungo who built Bag End. And Belladonna came from a very wealthy family and was also well known to the wizard Gandalf. And Bilbo was their only child. And here we have the chariot, not the typical scene that we get in the Rider-Waite images. And it does say there that there is no physical chariot here. Companions, as they ride across the open country on their way to the lonely mountain. And it says that if you were to get this in a reading, you are in the driver's seat moving forward in your life and taking measured risks on the way. There is our 8, the Strength card. Now this is Thorin Oakenshield, leader of the companions. And there we have the Hermit, being born as man stands with a great axe in his hands, tall, powerful, even as a man, let alone when he would skin change, shapeshift, oh neat, skin change, into a great black bear. And I do recall seeing a bear in one of the cards that's coming up. There's our Wheel of Fortune. So that's Bilbo and Gollum. And there is the Justice card. And that's when Bilbo hands over the Arkenstone to Bard and the Elven King. There is the Hanged Man. That is a pretty nice card. You really get the greenish hue and the scales on Gollum as he moves along the water edge there. There is the Death card. That's pretty neat. I like that a lot, that you can see through the mouth of the skull. And this looks like another shapeshifter here. It says the great goblin was the leader of the goblins in the Misty Mountains, who captured the companions as they took shelter in a cave. Okay, I like the lightning up top too. There's Temperance. So this is the leader of the goblin army, Bolg. Ooh, nice one for the devil, especially the burning roofs on the town that you get to see there. So that's Smog. And there is another one as he emerges from his lair spewing fire to wreak revenge. Okay, now we've got the Star. That's pretty neat. There's a bird down here. Other than that, I see the 2 pillars and the star. It says, before us stands the secret door to the lair of the dragon. Okay. And the 8-rayed star shines down. Okay. There's our moon card with Gollum again. It's neat with the image on the moon. And I'm not sure where he is with this pillar and arch there. Let's see. Gollum hated the moon, the old white face he called it, almost as much as he hated the sun, the yellow face. Okay, he was a creature of darkness. And it encouraged us to keep our feet on the ground. And when you're feeling lonely and confused, that state of just try to be peaceful and not let our fantasies get away with us. And there is the gorgeous Sun card. It's got a nice feel, this deck. I haven't given it enough attention. There's the Judgment. So that is the battle of the 5 armies. And the World. So that must be Smog on top of all his riches. All right, the Ace of Coins. Now, I do like the colors in here. I'm not sure about what all the meaning of the stars in an arch there indicates, but let's pause for a second and see. Okay, so it says you're looking at the family heirloom of Duran's line, the marvelous, brilliant, white, shining gem sought by Thorin, and it was called the Heart of the Mountain. Our Two of Coins at bag end. There's the 3 with their bag of valuables. There's 4. Our 5 of coins. That looks interesting. It looks like the spider webs that were inside the cave. Let's see what it says. The dwarves deep in Mirkwood, and the branches of the densely packed trees overhead block out all light and air from above. There's our 6, and it is quite a good cardstock. And by the way, that's what the backs look like. Kind of attractive. And you can see the ring right there at the heart. And all the rings all around the sides. That's really nice. And the 6 of coins. There's the 7. I wasn't sure what that one was. Having escaped from their imprisonment by the wood elves, our companions now float downstream. Oh yeah, I remember that. 8 of coins. The 9. Now that sphere is important. That's where Bilbo, as he has just made one of the most difficult decisions of his life, to take the Arkenstone over to Bard. So in our divining, we would be looking at gaining recognition in the eyes of others, material security, and finding a sense of our own worth. It's where you search for so long and then it becomes evident all around you. And there's the 10 of coins. All the riches. There's the bear for the page. Our knight. Our queen. And our king. All right, so now we're on to the swords. Our 3. And the 4 of swords. Let's see what that one's about. Okay, it indicates that they're escaping from the stone trolls. The 5 of swords. Now there we see 2 dwarves, companions, altered to the approach of the spiders and attempting to escape. Our 6 with the wolves down below, and this looks like another wolf or bear over there. So the 6, you see Bilbo escaping up a tree from the onrush of the wolves. The 7. Now this is when they emerge from the tunnels out into the light. The 8 of swords. Someone's captive there, just like in the regular Rider-Waite images. The companions realized that Thorin was missing, and after Bilbo, Thorin had been the next to step into the light of the elven fires and had immediately fallen asleep like a stone. And there's quite a story they give you there. But in divination, you'll be looking at the frustration, the need for patience, feeling a little bit restricted and isolated, and trying to gain back your power. There's our 9 and our 10. Okay, that's interesting. Page, the spiders, the knight, the Queen of Swords. Now that one is interesting. They say a female warg calls out a shuddering cry for her pack. Now that is just after the Battle of the 5 Armies. And there's the king. I like the nighttime images in it. There's our Ace of Wands. The 2. Now what's going on in that one? Let's find. So this one talks about being on a journey towards the lonely mountain and a long, long lake. There's our 5, where they're seeking shelter from a storm. And our 6. And the great goblin asked them what they have been doing in his territory. Ooh. There is our 7, another warg. Our 8, the 9 of Wands. So that is when they're on their way through the misty mountains and the feeling of vulnerable and trying to find your strengths and persistence to battle on. And our 10 of Wands. That's a great illustration. And I really, as I say, like the nighttime of it all. And that is where the black arrow has struck the dragon smog straight through the heart. There's the Page of Wands, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. So I just want to see what the King of Wands is all about. So the King of Wands is the Lord of the Eagles. All right, so we're going to go on to the cups now. Our Ace, the 2, the 3, that one's neat, the 5 of Cups. Let's see what that one's about. After his dwarven friends are captured by the wood elves, Bilbo slips on the ring and becomes invisible. Thus he is able to follow them to the dungeons where they are kept, and in due course get the keys to bring about their release. The 6, the 7, there's our 8. The detail in the deck is really, really well done. That's the 9. Let's see what that one's about. The companions stayed 14 days at Elrod's last homely house, and a merry time was had by all. The 10, the page, the knight, our queen, and our king. So we end up with, I believe, Bilbo as the king. Bilbo stands outside his home on his own land, deep in thought. He's come full circle back to where his story started. Really pretty deck, and I do like the back. So I think if you can still get that one, I presume you can. I think if you're a Hobbit movie lover, then this is a deck that you're probably really going to enjoy. And the card stock, because it's US Games, is great. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll catch you back here another day.